That would have been the biggest story in history. It's 100 times bigger than Watergate. True. True. And I promise you this, if you put me back in the White House, and Iowa and Nebraska, you're very important states, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. We're not a free nation. We don't have free press. We have a crooked press. We have a corrupt media. No, think of it. They have absolute proof that Biden's being paid off by China, Ukraine, and many other countries. And the press doesn't even write about it. That would have been 10 years ago. That would have been the biggest story in history. It's 100 times bigger than Watergate. That would have been the biggest, and they don't even put it on the news. They don't. You look, if there's anything, you know, they feel guilty because they have the biggest story in history, and they are cowards. They're corrupt. Or maybe they're afraid. I don't know. But if you see something, it's always way in the back, a little tight. This way they say, well, no, we discuss. We have a president of the United States who's a stone-cold, corrupt thief. And who's willing to arrest his opponent, who's leading him substantially in the polls. And then they go out and they say, oh, no, we really want to run against him. If they want to run against me, they wouldn't be indicting me. They'd say, I hope this guy goes in, say, make it nice and smooth. No, because we're leading by a lot, and we're going to win because we have no choice. If we don't win this election, we're not going to have a country. We're not going to have a country. There's going to be nothing left, and we can't let that happen. Just think of what we have already achieved in our 4 incredible years. We delivered the largest tax cuts and regulatory cuts in the history. These are the biggest cuts in the history of our country. And likewise, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had it going just before COVID came in. Nobody had ever seen numbers. African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, women, men, people with diplomas, people without diplomas, people #1 at MIT, and people that could barely get a job before. Everybody was working and everybody was happy. And even very, very far left people were coming up to me and saying, let's get together. The country was coming together. It was amazing. And then we had COVID. We had to go through a different thing. And then even then, we handed over. We did an amazing job, got not nearly enough credit for the job we did. We were making ventilators for all the nations of the world. Within about 3 months, we were all geared up and took car plants and changed them into ventilator plants. It was, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And we gave you a stock market that was higher than just before COVID came in. I mean, think of it. And then it's a series of horrible mistakes. They closed down our energy industry, essentially. They want wind. They want wind. Everything's fine. They want wind. They want all sorts of things. They want the Green New Deal. You know who came up with the Green New Deal? A poor student who has a good line of bullshit, who came up and said, she said, the Green New Deal. Nobody knew what the hell she was talking about. It's mostly fake stuff. And we're spending trillions and trillions of dollars of ruining our country. The oceans will rise over the next 3 years by 1/8 of an inch.
Let me show you an online website that generates automated income from anywhere you have access to the internet. Now, honestly, you should just hit skip on this video unless you'd like to discover how you can use the world
by 1/8 of an inch. But they're not worried about a country that's